Good afternoon. So we have the graveyard shift after lunch. Hopefully, these two titans of industry are going to enliven it enough to wake us all up post-lunch. We have decided that we are going to focus on how business is responding to the challenge of Viksit Bharat. And we'll address a few things, but let's start with the employment challenge. We've had labor market reforms passed by Parliament and signed off by the President, but they haven't been notified either by the centre or the states. Now, there's some debate about whether the centre has notified the labor market reforms. They're supposed to have substantially reduce the complexity of the labor laws from about 44 codes to 4. But the challenge, of course, is that most states haven't notified them. How is industry responding to the challenge of employment, and why is it that industry does not employ more people, and particularly in labor-intensive manufacturing? But in broad terms, what is clear is that we keep going for capital-intensive rather than labor-intensive investment. Why is that? Yeah.
Good afternoon, and thank you. It's wonderful to be on the show, and let me start out by congratulating the Republic team on this wonderful new setup that they have. But with regard to the question, may I take the liberty, first of all, of rephrasing it slightly? I would like to look upon it as the Viksit Bharat opportunity, not the challenge. Now let's, that being said, let's look at the, the various components. And you have certainly highlighted something which is, when it comes to employment, that is obviously for a country as large as ours, that is something that we need to focus on very carefully. And at one level, what is unfortunate is that all the effort to codify the vast number of rules and regulations pertaining to labor laws to distill it down to 4 codes, I think has been a brilliant effort. What is unfortunate is that this debate invariably, looks at labor law reforms as a hire and fire policy, which is not what it is. There are many more aspects to it than that. And if at all, hire and fire is a matter of to be discussed. So from that point of view, a lot of the heavy lifting has been done, like you said, in terms of codifying it down to 4 different codes. And obviously, what is now necessary is to take it forward. At a roundtable discussion that we had at FICCI some time ago, where Dr. Panagaria was there, 2 important points came about, one of which is what you referred to, that in a country as large as ours, if we are not effectively utilizing that factor of reform, which is labor, then obviously it is suboptimal going ahead. That doesn't mean there's anything against the use of capital or technology, but labor is something that has to be utilized more effectively. And in that regard, I think what is necessary and what will perhaps break this logjam and take it forward is to have 1 or 2 of the more advanced states in terms of a manufacturing ecosystem taking the plunge and setting a standard for the others to follow. I think that is what is necessary to take it forward. From an industry perspective, certainly I think what one needs to look at is to use and to leverage labor, given that it is a significant factor of production that is available in abundance. And in that context, again, from a FICCI perspective, what we have talked about, and I think industry in general talks about, is leveraging, for example, the productivity-linked incentive schemes and bringing in an element of employment, or if nothing else, at least targeting those sectors which have very high employment potential. I think that is what will make a difference.